Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome along to an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful day here on the Suffolk coast. Oh, I'm down by the beach today because it is just awesome here. I mean, it is such a stunning morning. We are coming out of the storm. Well, we're going into the storm in some respects, but we're coming out of the dark winter. Thanks, Joe. And we're coming into the light, dark to light. This is where we're going. This is where we are. And what does the light mean? And that's what I want to address today. Now, I have spent my life, I've done amazing things in my life. I've traveled the world. I've done incredible things. I haven't always been or done good things. I've done things and I've treated people bad at times. I'm no saint, and I'm sure no one here watching is either. We don't always get it right. Sometimes we get it wrong, and we try to move forward. Now, I've said before in one of my earlier videos that a few years ago now, probably maybe 10 years ago, I decided to relinquish my thought that I controlled everything in my life. That I thought if I just do this and I follow the rules and I if I do the right things in the right order, then I'll get where I want to go. And it never worked. It never did. And I relinquished that thinking that I could control everything. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what position you're in. I don't care how educated you are. It's irrelevant. You cannot control everything. And usually what happens is things happen in your life that make you realize that, what you have to do and what you have to be in your life is you have to be able to change and adapt and overcome. You have to be able to adapt to situations and trust your intuition. But how do you trust your intuition if you've never really relied on it? That's the hard part, I transitioned from this idea of that I could control everything many years ago. And I spoke to the universe, to God, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, we all have our different name for the power beyond us. Let's put it that way. Some people like to say that there is no God or no grand universal consciousness or anything like that. But realistically, the saying goes, there's no atheist in a foxhole. And I guarantee that if things get bad enough, people get on their knees and they pray. Pray to a God that they say they don't believe in. Now, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all denied the existence of something beyond us. I'm not gonna count myself out of that. Of course I did. I went through many years of that, saying there's no such thing. And it's easy to believe that there is no such thing. Now, it's hard for people to comprehend that. This man with a big long beard, obviously a white man, that's with a big long beard sitting up in the clouds making decisions for us. But I think that sort of, that idea, that concept of that God, I mean, it's pretty stupid. But, I can't knock someone's belief system, but that's, we have to understand that there is some kind of greater manifestation than us, than you and me, than the whole of the race, than well, look around you. I mean, this is an accident, apparently, a happy happenstance. I mean, really. Now, this idea that we can control everything, you get blindsided by things all the time. How do you get blindsided by things if you're controlling them all? You can't. You can't control everything. Now, you have to start to rely on and listen to your intuition. But how do you get to that point where you can listen to your intuition? Because we all have that noise in our head. It's constant. The fear, the doubt, the worry, the panic, oh my God, I've got bills to pay, all of it, And it's easy to fall into that, Like I said before, I've been out of work for nearly a year. Obviously, I've done some work in between. And You know, there's a lot of people in worse positions than I am. A lot of people in worse positions than I am financially. And, you know, of course there's been days where I've gone, Christ, what am I going to do? You know? But I look at my life and I think, you know, I've been so fortunate along the way to have the experiences that I've had, and I've never been without. You know, I've always had a roof over my head, I've always had food on the table, I've always had people around me that care about me and love me, and it is, you know, I try and go out in the world, and I don't always get it right. Like I said, you know, I haven't always been and done good things. You know, I haven't always been a nice person. You know, sometimes I'm a right asshole, you know. But, you know, I have to forgive myself for those times as well, and forgive those people around me that act like that as well, because they're in a place where they can't see it. You know, and it's hard to understand that. It's hard to understand it in yourself. Now, when it comes down to this intuitive voice and this noise that's constantly in our heads, because there is always that fear and that doubt and that worry. You know, if you can find a place in yourself that you can retreat to and understand that you're always going to be taken care of, and have faith in that. That's what faith is knowing that everything will turn out just fine. Now, I've talked about many things, you know, on this channel. I've talked about, you know, cryptos. I've talked about stocks and shares and you know, different things. Now, I've been guided in my journey to these things that I talk about. You know, the subjects that I'm talking about. It's like a flashing beacon going off saying, you need to look here. You know, and when something constantly is constantly in my face like that, that's the things I need to take notice of and understand and really look at, because there's a reason why it keeps on coming up. And this is the way I sort of think about intuition, for me anyway. I mean, everyone has their own way of doing things, but if something is constantly drawing my attention, you know, I don't watch the news. You know, you need to understand that. So I'm not going out there looking for news on the news channels, the mainstream media channels, but things come into my consciousness. I see things constantly, and if I constantly see things, like crypto was one of those things, it came at me from so many different angles, friends, family. There were so many different angles that it came at me from. I had to have a look at it, and when I did, that's when I got involved in it. Now, it's like that with everything. You know, the subjects I talk about on my channel, it's not just random. You know, it maybe seems random, but it's not just random. It is, you know, it is the things that take my note, that make me notice them, are the things that I need to take notice of for a reason. And some of those are to trigger fear, to trigger panic, to make me concerned and think, oh my God, what's happening? You know. And you know, if you're the same, if you feel the same way, that things are, you know, bashing you in the face and saying, hey, look at this, there's a reason for it, you know. Now, I've spoken about the 17th letter of the alphabet. I can't say that letter because there's obviously, you know, censorship that's going on with that letter. But I've spoken about the 17th letter of the alphabet before, and whether you think it's real or whether you think it's all a scam, it really is irrelevant. But if you read it, if you read the posts, read what they actually say. It talks about the times that we're living through right now, and I've had to trust my intuitive voice on that as well, and understand that, you know, the biggest thing that came out of that was always, sometimes you can't tell the people, you must show them. Now, you know, like the story I went to a Catholic school, so I know some of the stories in the Bible, and that's what, you know, a lot of the Bible is. It's stories, are parables to tell a story, to convey a message. And one of those stories that we all know, I'm sure, is Doubting Thomas, the story of Doubting Thomas, you know. And Doubting Thomas had to see, he couldn't have faith, you know. He had to see it. And that's all of us, you know. It's hard to believe that, you know, it's hard to believe in certain things unless you see it for yourself. And there's an element of doubting Thomas in all of us. We doubt ourselves, we doubt our abilities, we doubt that we're in the right place. There's fear and doubt and worry. It comes from a lack of faith, a lack of conviction. And that can come from a lack of going out and seeking more knowledge. Now, I watched a movie the other night called Beyond the Curve. Now, it was funny. It was it was funny and kind of sad. It was a documentary about flat earthers, right? And it mocked these people. This documentary, it mocked them, in such a way that they're uneducated, and only uneducated would believe in these kind of theories, and and it talks down to people who believe something outside of the current narrative. But now, I'm not going to get into the whole flat earth thing. That's a topic for a different discussion. But the thing is, it's what the point of what I'm trying to say, the point of that story, is that there's times where you're going to be mocked, and there's times that you're going to be doubting what your belief system is. You're going to be doubting everything, and that's normal. It's absolutely normal, because it's when you're faced with those situations that your knowledge base, your belief systems are challenged, that you can go and find extra information if you need to reassure your faith in something by going and seeking out more information, or challenging the information that you believe in, which is key. We all have to challenge what we believe in. But at the end of the day, you have to get to a point where you can start to rely on that intuitive voice and differentiate that between the noise, the doubt and the fear, and the you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, whatever it is, whatever those fear voices are saying to you. Differentiate the intuitive voice that's guiding you in a certain direction, and be able to listen to that and understand why you're being guided in that direction. I've learned some hard lessons over the years, and put my faith in people that weren't there, and put my faith in things that didn't serve me. But I've over the years since, I've come to learn to trust and have faith in that things will turn out just fine, and to rest on that faith, because I know that I'll always be looked after. Not because I'm special, because I'm not. I'm just an ordinary person. But I know that I'll always be looked after, because if you go out into the world and you try and do the right thing, you might not always get it right. But if you try and do the right thing and you're guided in that direction that you're going, and you're listening to that intuitive voice, then you're on the path to where you need to be. Does that make sense? We're all being guided along our journey by whatever force you like, whatever you want to call it, your life path, your by God or universal consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to give it, whatever you feel comfortable with. We're all being guided along that path for a very specific reason. I always quote The Matrix because it's my favorite movie. I love it. It is, it's not a movie, it's a documentary. But there's a character, I think he's in the second movie, called the Keymaker. And the Keymaker says, we're all here to do what we're all here to do. And the hardest part of our journey is to recognize what we're here to do, So I have my faith that I'm being guided in the right direction. And the times where it's not going the way that I think it's supposed to go are the very times that I'm trying to learn those lessons from that. It is, you get too cocky, you get to, you get to think that it's all me doing this. It's not. We have to recognize our place here. We have to recognize our part in the system and play our part. We're all here to do what we're all here to do. And maybe just take some time and take a step back and realize that, you have to at some point recognize that you're part of a bigger thing here. And have faith in your journey. Be guided on that journey and try and do some good in the world. Try and be a good person. Try and do some good for not only for yourself. I mean, you have to start with you. You have to start with you and look after yourself, because if you're starting out with an empty bucket, how can you fill other people up? How can you build anything in this world? Like I've said before, I'm invested in cryptos. And it's not about me buying a Lamborghini and driving around, buying a big house and a big boat and sailing off into the sunset. Boop, boop, what I want to do with these, the gains, if it actually finally happens, or when, sorry, not if, but when, is invest in social programs that benefit youth groups and homeless people. Longer story, I'll get into another day. Set up businesses that's going to benefit the wider community. That's the direction I'm going. That's what I want to achieve in my life. I recognise, just doing everything for myself is a bit pointless. Being the richest man in the graveyard, what's the point of it all? We can all, through what we do, change the world. If you don't like the way it is, you've got to do your bit for the world around you to change it. My small contribution here by doing these videos is to share my journeys, to share my thoughts and share my feelings, and hopefully it can inspire other people to make some decisions that are going to benefit themselves and their wider community. If we can all do that, paying it forward. If you haven't seen that movie, Paying It Forward, it's awesome. Haley Joel Osment, a young kid. I mean, it's awesome. Have a look at it. But if we all do something small start with yourself, look after yourself, have some self-love, and then we pay that forward to the wider community, the world would be an awesome place. And our actions and our thoughts and our feelings and what we do in the world is going to reverberate, through history. To quote the Gladiator, I think it was. What we do today, gentlemen, reverberates through history. So that's it, basically. I just wanted to sort of share a couple of thoughts on that. Try and get in touch with your intuitive voice and understand that you're part of a bigger picture. And this picture, I mean, look at it. This world that we live in, it is awesome. And we can make it better through what we do and how we interact with people and where we invest our time and our energy and our money. So if you don't like the way that things are going, then do something for yourself and do something for your community, because in doing that, we're going to change the world together. So I'm going to go and enjoy the day. I got a very busy day planned. I just want to say one and all, for all the people that are joining me for this journey, for all the subscribers to my channels, for the people who leave comments, I can't thank you enough. It inspires me to keep on going through the times where things aren't going in the way that I want them to. Thank you for being there. Really, I can't thank you enough. It really does change my viewpoint, change my attitude, and change my day. And all the people I interact with on a daily basis, it just it benefits me, my family, and hopefully I can share that with you guys through what I'm doing as well. So thanks for being here. If you like what I'm doing, drop me a like. If you don't, then drop me a dislike. I don't mind. If you really like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. In the description box down below, I've now set up a Telegram channel. I'll be sharing some sort of spicy memes and that kind of thing in that channel. I hope you join me there. We can share some information and converse with each other off these kind of platforms where we are being censored. So go out into the world, have an awesome day one and all, and I shall look forward to seeing you really, really soon. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. Love you lots. See you soon. Bye.